Leykis 101, the ongoing on-air adult education course that teaches men how to get more tail for less money. Just as importantly, we teach women how men think. I am your professor. This is my classroom. Class is in session. This is where we teach the tenets of Leykis 101. Every once in a while, for those of you who are new to this classroom, we need to review the basic tenets of Leykis 101. I know we have a lot of new listeners. Now that we're streaming on the Internet, we have listeners around the world. This week alone, I've heard from Iraq, Belgium, Australia, England, lots of places. And some of our students listening online may want to call in because this is your opportunity to get those questions answered no matter what time of day you're listening, no matter how many time zones away you are. Here are the basic tenets of Leykis 101, said in kind of a nutshell, very briefly. The basic reason a Leykis 101 student goes out on a date is to get laid. That is where it all comes from. That is the reason. We do not go out on dates to make new friends, to discuss politics. Women don't know anything about politics anyway, not till they're 50. We do not go out on dates to find new coffee buddies or library buddies or, people to discuss other relationships with. We don't need new pals. The reason we spend money taking complete strangers out to drinks and dinner is because we want sex. We want them to get naked and have sex with us. That's why. That's the one and only reason. Anybody who says they're going out with you for another reason, girls, is lying to you because they're afraid if they tell you the truth about their intentions, you won't go out with them, and you ultimately won't have sex with them. So we pretend to be listening to you blabbing on about stuff we don't care about. After all, you are a complete stranger. And you tell us details about your lives that, my God, girls, we don't care about that stuff. We're not hearing a word you're saying. We're not listening. All we're doing is imagining you naked. We're trying to calculate the distance between where we're sitting and where your bed is. That's what we're doing. Until you do put out, we don't hear a word you say, and we don't care. Do we lie and say we care? Sure we do. But we don't. I know it hurts, so I'll give you a minute to absorb the pain. Leykis 101 students, because we are open about things like this, because we say things like this, we're frequently known as jerks or a-holes. We wear those names as a badge. We are jerks and a-holes. Oh, yeah. We're frequently called immature or misogynist. We don't care. We really don't care what you think of us because we know we're dead. The minute we start worrying about what you think of us, we're dead. You know you've got us where you want us, so we don't care what you think of us. You may think we're jerks. You may come up to us and get in our face about being jerks. But ultimately, we know jerks are who you go home with. Leykis 101 students know that women love being treated like crap. They say they don't want to be treated like crap, but then they only go out with guys who treat them like crap. Then they complain about the guys who treat them like crap. I'm always very specific about this. We are not advocating physical violence of any kind of pain or anything like that. No. We're not talking about that. Treating women like crap consists of being unreliable, saying you'll call and then not calling, putting women on ice for a week or 2 or 3 at a time, giving you backhanded compliments. By the way, have you seen all the press now about backhanded compliments? You notice that, I think it was Dateline that did a show about backhanded compliments. Did you hear about the Tom Leykis show on there? No. But if you have been a student of Leykis 101, we've been talking about backhanded compliments as an effective way to get women to do what you want for years. Leykis 101 students don't spend more than $40 on a date. 0 is optimum. Getting her to pay is even better. Try to avoid spending any significant money because it doesn't matter how much lobster or champagne you buy. A woman decides whether she's going to have sex with you in the first 30 seconds, many times, even before she ever goes out with you. She knows. She brings a spare pair of panties, or she doesn't. She brings the diaphragm, or she doesn't. It's just the way it is. It doesn't matter how much you spend on her. It's not going to change her mind. She either is or isn't going to have sex with you. Why waste money on it? So don't. No limos, no gifts, no cards, no flowers, no candy, no champagne, none of it. Cheap shots of concentrated booze, that's it. Hip, cool places where they serve cheap food. We have our own list of favorites. You can think of some of those. Here in L.A., I can name you one of our favorites, El Coyote, over on Beverly Boulevard. Mexican restaurant, been there since the 20s. Total hypness factor, totally cheap. And they have, like, the cheapest valet parking in town. Spectacular. Absolutely great. Super cheap. Cheap margaritas, too. Out of a gun. Bartender just shoots it into your glass. Oh, yeah, they make them from scratch, too, but she won't know the difference. $3.95 out of the gun. So you can't beat that. Spend as little as possible. Spend as little time with her as possible, too. By the way, I might add, you don't want to go on dates where you're not going to have any contact or any conversation of any kind for a long period of time. Don't take her to the movies. Don't go to concerts. By the way, most concerts would cost more than $40 anyway nowadays. You don't want to go to concerts. You don't want to go to plays. Your goal is to get her drinking with you. No, we're not suggesting roofies, or we're not suggesting rape or date rape or anything like that. Absolutely not. We're suggesting the time-honored tradition of buying a woman a couple of drinks and that she starts to giggle. That's the way it works. It's that simple. Leykis 101 students don't date single mothers. She's already made one mistake, sometimes two. Next time the condom leaks, breaks, or falls off, you're next. You'll be paying for the next 18 years! Yeah. Leykis 101 That's right. No single mothers, boys. We also, by the way, I might add, we do not agree to do favors for people like impregnating them because they need to be impregnated, they can't afford artificial insemination, or any number of other reasons people give. Leykis 101 students do not get married before age 25, and I especially aim that at you boys in the military who seem to have a penchant for wanting to get married as young as possible. As young as possible. Don't do it. The time to get married is when you have attained your career goals, 25 being the minimum age. But for some people who want to become doctors and lawyers, it's well beyond 25. Women will drag you down and keep you from achieving what you want to achieve in life because they fear that once you become a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, a rock and roll musician, or whatever it is that requires lots and lots of study or practice or work or travel, once you succeed at what you're going to do, they're afraid, and rightfully so, they're afraid you're going to dump them for a younger, hotter model. And you will. That's why you don't want to hook up with any particular woman until you've achieved your goal, because that is when you get the hottest chick. Boys, if you're going to pre-med, do not hook up with your girlfriend. Do not, shack up with the girl who makes coffee for you and stays up all night while you study for the finals. Don't do it. Once your first name is Doctor, you'll get much younger, hotter models. There's a 12-year-old girl who will be 18 by the time your first name is Doctor. She's out there right now. She's in the 7th grade. She's got your name on her. Don't touch her now. Don't go looking for her. She's out there. The minute your first name is Doctor, she'll be of legal age. The girl you're with right now by that time will be 27, 28, 29, 30. There's an 18-year-old in your future. 18, 19, 20. Somebody really hot. Hotter than that girlfriend who's so loyal to you now and she's making a little investment in her future by staying up with you while you study and making coffee for you. She's investing in her own future. She's not doing that selflessly. Don't feel guilty about what I'm telling you. She's doing that because ultimately she hopes it's going to pay off in the long run for her. Now, all of you who believe in romance and what have you, well, that's all well and good, but you're dealing with a guy right now in myself who's been married and divorced 4 times, and no matter how romantic she believes in being or tells you she believes in being, once you break up with her, if you divorce her, you're going to find out how romantic she's not when she tries to grab everything you have. Very few of them don't do it. Most of them do it. So you do not want to have her move in. You do not want to get married. You do not want to get engaged. You do not want to give a promise ring. You don't want to do any of that stuff until you've become the success you can be. I'm talking to plenty of guys out there right now who work in the paper and plastic business. I don't mean they work for a paper company or a plastic company. I mean they work packing groceries. Plenty of you out there. Many of you are there because you knocked up your high school sweetheart. You know who you are. Don't do it. Condoms 100% of the time. Don't fall for the idea that you're in love. And the problem for most guys, as I lecture you here in the 101 classroom, is that you can't see the future. You don't know how good your life is going to get. I got married at 18, and I learned this the hard way. Because at 18, who was I at age 18? Actually, I met my ex-wife at 17. Got married when I turned 18. I didn't need my parents' permission. Why did I do that? I give that a lot of thought because I teach in this classroom all the time. Why did I get married at 18? Here's why. At 18, I grew up as one of 4 children. The first 10 years of my life, I lived in an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. It was $80 a month rent with 3 siblings in the same room. I left home at 16 because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't live there with them anymore. At 17, I met my girlfriend, who later became my wife. And when that happened, I was going to prove what an adult I was. And not only that, but having grown up with no money, having had to drop out of college ultimately because I couldn't afford to keep going, I thought that this was as good as I was ever going to do. She was 4 years older than I was. She had very large breasts. And we hung out together all the time, smoked weed, had sex, and I just thought, wow, this is great. That's all I need in life. Could I see at age 18 that I would be a multimillionaire one day? Could I see that one day I would have a successful nationally syndicated radio program? Could I see that one day I would have a house in the Hollywood Hills? Could I see that one day I would become financially successful in other ways, becoming a self-made multimillionaire by investing and saving and planning? Could I see that I'd be in a position where I'd get any woman I wanted? Could I see that at 18? No. No, I couldn't see it. I thought this was as good as it was going to get. And you know, a lot of you guys are 18. That's what you believe. You've got a nice girl for a girlfriend. You've got a girlfriend, first of all, or a fiancé, and she's a nice girl. Is she really hot? No, but she's nice, and you haven't accomplished anything in life, and you're just lucky to get a girl like her. Because you never believe you'll be anything more than you are today. But you know what? Many of you will be something more than you are today. You just can't see it yet. You don't know what might happen. Maybe you'll go back to school. Maybe you'll win the lottery. Maybe you'll stumble over the cure for cancer or the cure for AIDS. Maybe you'll find $100,000 in a satchel on the side of the road somewhere. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. All I can tell you is whatever girl you're with today, if you believe you'll never get a girl like that, you'll never do any better, you're just plain wrong. In fact, chances are the girl you have today is much less than what you could get if you just hold out. Because as women get older, they decline in value like a used car. As men get older, we increase in value. Because we get smarter, we do better at work, we get promoted, we make more money. We're more valuable as we get older. They're less valuable. We as men frequently cash in our chips too early. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's my advice to you. I have a lot of advice for you, and that's why we're here. If you are in the mood to try to prevent marriage in your life or serious commitment, if you're looking to avoid any kind of long-term situation, if you're just looking to have sex, get laid, have fun, if that's all you want out of life, and you want to figure out how to keep from getting hooked, how to keep from getting committed to somebody or being committed to somebody, if you're looking to do that, you're talking to the right guy right now.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
My girlfriend's a habitual listener. She loves your show. And I kind of wonder if she's starting to get a little worried about me listening to you as well.
Why is that?
You know, the stuff that you teach. She says all the guys that listen to your stuff are ass.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
It's Leykis 101 on the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you to all the people in Seattle who are writing in and telling me that they're cutting our show to ribbons. I have no idea why. If you want to hear the whole show, you don't have to listen to the radio. You could go to fmtalki.com and hear it in its entirety. Now, of course, if you do that, you won't hear any of the commercials on the buzz, but what can I do? They're cutting the hell out of the show. What can I say? Been on the station for 11 years, and suddenly the board operators decided to start cutting the hell out of the show. I don't get it. Nobody at the station informed us about this, and I'm weirded out by it, to be honest. I'm getting a lot of email about it. But what can I say? It's ridiculous. I mean, we're not saying anything that's in violation of federal regulations. Anything. And you can hear the entire show on the Internet if you want to. And by the way, the station we're on in L.A. is not cutting it up like that at all. Not at all. I'm still trying to figure out what stuff they're cutting out. Unbelievable. Somebody told me they cut out the phrase F you. Is that true? F you? F you, 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 F you? F you? It's 2 letters. F you. F you. Bleep this out. F you, F you, F you. I mean, it's one thing when they call you and say, hello, we're going to start cutting your show to ribbons starting tomorrow. It's another thing when people have to write you email and that's how you find out about it. What is that all about? You got to be kidding me. Getting calls about it too, Dean? Yeah, well, we know. Lots of people are telling us about it. The word boobs is getting cut out? Boobs. They said that on the Match Game in the 70s. The bionic woman, boobs, Gene. Yeah. Okay. Boobs. They're cutting the word boobs out now. Boobs, 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 boobs. Now, boobs is what? They think boobs is illegal now? Boobs!
They're called breasts.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I don't think this is the station policy. I think the board operator is becoming overzealous. And we're going to have a conversation with them about this. I don't get it. Think I am Bubba the Love Sponge? Come on. Unbelievable. Well, it's not like I'm pretending to ignore this. I'm not. I'm just getting a lot of emails about it, and I'm coming clean with you as I always have. Amazing. Leykis 101, I am your professor. This is Jennifer on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
Great.
Good. I don't agree with half of what you say.
Which half?
All of it. I don't...
Well, is it half of it or all of it?
All of it.
You just said you don't agree with half of what I say. Now you've just increased that by 100%.
Well, I'm a woman. I guess that's what we do, right?
You mean you're illogical and emotional and irrational? Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. Okay. I think you just got burned by a girl, and now you're...
Well, you know how you can tell if somebody's been burned? You know how you can tell if somebody's been burned by a girl?
How?
He's got a penis. Can I say penis in Seattle? I don't know. Are they cutting out penis? I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I'm in Texas, so we don't have that.
In Texas, you can hear penis, but in Seattle now, somebody's decided that words like that shouldn't be on the radio.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I think you're teaching men to do things that they shouldn't.
Like what?
Telling them that it's okay to treat girls like crap. Don't spend a bunch of money.
Oh, treating girls like crap, that is what women love.
Not every girl is that way.
Wait, no one said every girl is that way. But I'm speaking to a broad audience. We're broadcasting. So, hey, if there's a needle in a haystack, I'm not going to encourage my guys to find it.
I just explain why you feel this way.
Because, let me give you an example. Every nice guy listening to this show, and they've all reported to us, and that's how I'm not a nice guy, so I can't say I've heard this firsthand. I've only heard it from the guys. The nice guys, who tell us that there are women they meet who sit there and talk about every one of their ex-boyfriends. This one treated me like crap, that one was a jerk, this one was an a-hole. Well, then it leads one to believe, why are you having sex with people like that? Well, then you take it to the next logical step, because they are jerks, a-holes, morons, creeps. That's why. The nice guys don't get laid. The nice guys sit there patiently and listen to women talking about all the jerks they've had sex with in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer to that is to become one of them.
Y'all treat us the same way we treat y'all. I mean, I think it's an equal thing.
Oh, dear. In fact, I don't think, dear. Dear, you and I are in agreement. In fact, here's what we don't agree on. I don't think we treat you like crap enough. I think we need to do it more. I want us to do it more. That's our problem, is that we don't do enough of it.
And, and I think we're too nice to y'all. I think we do too much for y'all. Y'all get
that's the attitude of most American women, which is why I also recommend that guys, anytime it's possible, date women from other countries instead of American women.
What, because we're independent?
Yes.
Y'all made us that way, and then now you're...
No, we did not make you that way. The feminist movement made you that way. Your lesbian mother made you that way, or whatever. But the bottom line is that we didn't make you that way.
You made us that way when guys started leaving women. You made us that way...
When guys started leaving women, that started the minute there was a guy and a woman. The guys were leaving women. When guys started leaving women... What, you mean they weren't leaving women at some point in time?
When y'all started making us single moms is when all of this crap started.
We didn't make you single moms, dear. You made yourself single moms.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're 60 years old.
Pregnant. Thank you.
Yeah,
but I can't get pregnant by myself.
What? Yeah, I see here from Dean. You had your first kid at what? 15?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Now, what birth control were you using?
I wasn't.
Why not?
I was 15.
Why? Oh, so what?
I didn't even know what sex was till the day I freaking had it.
I see.
At 15, I did not know.
Why did you do it?
All of my children.
Were you raped? Were you raped?
No.
Well, then why did you do it if you didn't know what it was?
Because I was 15.
Why did you do it if you didn't know what it was?
Because I was 15, and I didn't think about it. I didn't think about the consequences. I didn't think about the actions. I took my responsibility, and I've raised that child for 10 years.
All right, so you only did it once, right?
I was married when I had my other 2 kids.
Oh, by how many fathers?
3.
So 3 kids by 3 different fathers. Well, that's great. That's really responsible. And you're how old? Tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 25.
25. You're 25 with a 10-year-old kid.
Yes, I am.
That's
and
great.
I also went to college. I also graduated college.
So
I also had a full-time job. I've always raised my kids.
Yeah. What did you get a degree in college?
I have 2 computer degrees.
Really? And what do you do for a living?
I do accounting, and I do fix all their computers.
You do what with computers?
I fix them. I fix the software. When something screws up, I fix it.
I see.
Can I say screw?
Yeah, you can say it in Dallas, but not Seattle.
When their software gets messed up, I fix it.
Or say it got screwed up. They'll just bleep you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whenever things get messed up, I do it. I fix it. But, I mean, I made myself what I am, and I'm proud of being independent, and I'm proud of most of these women that are independent because we're not using men to take care of us, which is your whole thing. Your whole thinking is that women need men to take care. I don't need a man to take care of me.
Now, dear, the only women who don't need men to take care of them are undesirable women, like 25-year-old women who have 3 kids. Those are the women who don't need.
I'm a gorgeous person. I mean, not that I'm sounding conceited or anything, but I'm a beautiful person.
You mean physically beautiful?
Typically beautiful, yes. I don't look like I've had 3 kids, and if you didn't,
but it doesn't matter. You do have 3 kids, so you are damaged. You're damaged goods.
How is that damaged?
Because who wants to take on the baggage of 3 other guys? Not me.
Why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel that way? That's somebody else's problem. I do not want to be with you and your kids going to theme parks or going to roller coasters. You know what? I want to have adult fun. I want to drink. I want to go out late at night. I want to go to nightclubs. I want to have fun. Real fun. No, you can't do that with 3 children.
I go out. My personal life is separate from my kids.
Really? Do you use birth control now, or are you planning on pumping out a few more here?
I don't have to have any more kids.
What do you mean you don't have to?
I got myself fixed. So I
got yourself fixed finally.
Yes.
After 3, you finally figured out you could do that.
No, they wouldn't allow me to do that until I had the 3rd one.
I see. You were incapable of using birth control at all in the past?
I got pregnant twice on birth control.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes.
Very nice.
Which is why I have those 3 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
so
were these guys using condoms? Were these guys using condoms? No.
I was married to him.
So what?
I was married to him.
By the way, you've been married twice already at age 25? That's even worse than me.
Well, I don't plan on getting married again.
Oh, great. So now you've got 3 kids, and you're going to be a single mother the rest of your life. And why would any guy want to go out with a woman who has 3 kids at 25?
Because it's not their responsibility. It's mine.
Yeah, you know what? It is. It's our responsibility in any number of ways. Any number of ways.
When does it become your responsibility?
Any
God for money. I take care of myself. I live by myself. I pay my own bills.
Yeah, but you're not free anytime you need to be free.
I have a twin sister who babysits for me regularly.
How many kids does she have?
She has 3.
She has 3 also?
Yeah.
By how many fathers?
1.
One father. Is she married?
10 years, yes.
She got married at 15?
Yes.
So do you live in a trailer park, dear?
No, I have my own apartment.
No, but is that where your family is from? Is that where you're from?
No, actually, my family owns a lot of companies, and I money. I was a spoiled, rotten kid who thought I could do the world, and when I got pregnant, my dad said, now you made it, now you lied.
But apparently now everybody in the family's doing it. That's great. Everybody's doing it.
But my family, I come from money. It's not like I'm some white trash.
Well, money doesn't buy class, dear.
No, it doesn't, and neither does this show. You really...
I don't claim to have class.
Well, you need to do something, because my son...
I get a lot of ass, but I don't really have any class, and I don't need to have any class.
You need to have something, because you're teaching guys to do things they shouldn't do.
What do you mean they shouldn't do? For one thing, our guys wouldn't date you. Let's start with that.
I date people all the time.
You don't date Tom Leykis 101 listeners all the time.
I don't date anybody over 30 anyways.
Dear, an awful lot of our listeners are not over 30.
I date people all the time. I go out all the time. I have a good time. Like I said,
but again, they are not students of this class. And anyone who is would not date you or your sister if she were available.
Actually, several of them listen to you. Several of them. That's how I started listening.
It doesn't mean they're students, and it doesn't mean they're passing this class. Because I'm telling you, if they're dating you, the 15-year-old little slut who went out and started cranking out babies 10 years ago, then they are not passing this class. I can assure you.
I think the class stinks. I think what you're teaching people is wrong, and I think you need to...
Well, of course you think it stinks, because your ox is getting gored.
You got burned. Now you're trying to get everybody else into...
Every man out there has been burned by a chick, sweetheart.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You hurt a lot of people with your advice.
Who am I hurting?
heard a lot of people call in and say, hey, you know what? Try this. They said, oh, yeah, just get the booty and the money.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Well, if you'd like to hear the parts of the show that have been cut out, come see Boys Night Out at the world-famous, legendary, historic Paramount Theater in Seattle. Can I say the word Seattle? I don't know. It's Friday, September 30th at 8:30 p.m., and I guess we need Boys Night Out in Seattle now more than ever. Huh? Oh, boy. Anyway. It's me as your MC. It's Bobby Slayton as our headliner. It's three over-the-top comedians who, well, they get this show. They understand where we're coming from. And it's no chicks. No chicks at all. Friday, September 30th, 8:30 p.m. at the legendary Paramount Theater. I'll have a few things to say about this on stage, too. That I can't say on the air, clearly. Call this number for... Did they cut out the music, too? Oh, no, that was us. All right. Call 206-529-4051. That's the number, 206-529-4051. 206-529-4051. Go to Ticketmaster.com. You can also go to BlowMeUpTom.com and get your tickets to Boys Night Out, Friday, September 30th at 8:30 p.m. at the legendary Paramount Theater in Seattle. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Leykis 101. I am your professor. This is Brianna on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Brianna.
How are you?
Do you care?
Of course I do.
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, I was just calling first. I would like to tell you that I love you, and your show has been such an inspiration for me. Just because I know it's geared towards men, but you inspire me to be successful in life, and it's just been amazing the last year I've been listening. I've gotten so far. But anyways, I'm calling to let you know that about 5 or 6 women, or girls, that I went to high school with all trapped their men by getting pregnant, all of them.
And they admitted to you that that's why they got pregnant?
No, none of them will admit it, but the thing is that they all just say, oh, it was an accident, or, it was like right when they all started getting fat, and all of their boyfriends were about to leave them, and they all got pregnant, all at the same time.
So, in other words, they started getting fat because they felt, oh, I've got a boyfriend now, I can get fat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God, they are just so nasty. I mean, it's like, and there's a huge difference. There's like me and the girls that I still hang out with who are, great looking, work out all the time, are either in college or doing something really amazing with our lives. And then there's them who don't work, sit on their ass, are fat, nasty, ghetto. They're just so gross. Well,
that's another good reason when your girl starts to gain weight just to bail. Run like the wind. Get out.
Exactly. I mean, like, we are here because we are supposed to basically, make our men happy. I mean, there's nothing. By
the way, I might add to the fatties in Seattle, this is a statistical and medical fact. I'm not making this up. That for women over 150 pounds, the birth control pill is less likely to work.
Yeah.
And I believe that the reason for that is that they don't have size-specific birth control pills.
Yeah.
So I believe that if you're bigger, you need a bigger pill. Yeah. You need a larger dose.
No, and so many people here are just so nasty. I mean, it's like, I swear 90% of the girls out here are just ghetto, nasty, fat, lazy. There's like 1% of us out there that actually care about ourselves.
I love that. We have another hour of Leykis 101 to go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Don't forget, Boys Night Out is coming to the Riverside Municipal Auditorium. If you live in the Inland Empire, you want to be there Friday, October 7th at 8:30 p.m. Tickets at Ticketmaster. You can call Ticketmaster at 714-740-2000. That's 714-740-2000. Or go to Ticketmaster.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.